In the name of Allah, the most merciful and the most compassionate. Peace be upon you. Welcome back, my dear students. Welcome to listening and speaking part. Let's get started immediately. Open your class book, page 8 and 9. Activity number 1. Discuss and sort. Look at the phrases for beginning and ending stories below. Discuss which phrases are used to begin stories and which are used to finish stories. This is very useful lesson to give you how to write a narrative story, a story. What should we write at first and what should we write at the end? Okay, once upon a time. It should be written where? At the beginning or at the end? Very good. It should be written at the beginning. Okay. And they lived happily ever after. The end, very good. They walked off into the setting sun. And also, many years ago. Beginning. When we were young. Beginning. Before you were born. Beginning, very good. And they never did that again. This is a moral lesson. And once in a land far from away. Once in a land far, far away. Beginning, very good. That is the reason why. And this tale is about a man, woman who. Okay, this is the beginning. This is the model answer. Thank you. We move to exercise number 2. What can you see in this picture? We can see 3 young boys. They are imprisoned in a hat. Sorry? What can you see in this picture? What can you see in this picture? I can see 3 young boys in a primitive hut, in an old house or in primitive house. Okay, listen to a little knowledge is dangerous, and this is a very important lesson. Kyokuo, a story from Kenya. Put phrases A and G in the same order as they appear in the story. Now we are going to listen to this story and reorder these sentences. Put them in order, in the correct order. Now listen.
Listening 1.2.
Once upon a time in Kenya, there were 3 men who decided to learn English. When they got to the school, they put their books and pencils on the desk. When the teacher arrived, he asked, "Who put these things here?" The 3 men said in the Kikuyu language, "Ni etu itatu." No, replied the teacher. In English, you should say, "We 3." Then the teacher saw their pencils and asked, "What did you use to sharpen the pencils?" The 3 men said in Kikuyu, "Nabanga." No, not Nabanga, said the teacher. In English, you should say, "a knife." After that, the teacher complained that the classes were not free and that he wouldn't teach them. He sent them away and told them that if they were asked why, they should say it was because of the money. As the three men were going home, they came upon the body of a man who had just been killed. As they were looking around, a policeman arrived in his car.
Listening 1.2.
Once upon a time in Kenya, there were three men who decided to learn English. When they got to the school, they put their books and pencils on the desk. When the teacher arrived, he asked, "Who put these things here?" The three men said in the Kikuyu language, "Ni itu itatu." No, replied the teacher. In English, you should say, "We three." Then the teacher saw their pencils and asked, "What did you use to sharpen the pencils?" The three men said in Kikuyu, "Nabanga." No, not Nabanga, said the teacher. In English, you should say, "a knife." After that, the teacher complained that the classes were not free and that he wouldn't teach them. He sent them away and told them that if they were asked why, they should say it was because of the money. As the three men were going home, they came upon the body of a man who had just been killed. As they were looking around, a policeman arrived in his car, saw the dead man and asked, "Who killed him?" "We three," answered one man. The policeman asked, "With what?" "With a knife," replied the second man. The policeman added, "Why?" "Because of the money," answered the third man. Well, after that, the three Kikuyu men were immediately handcuffed and landed in prison.
Now you have to listen again. Pause the video. Play the tape again alone and play the tape alone. Play the tape alone now and answer or put these sentences into the correct answer or the correct order. Now we go to answer these questions. Okay, where is number one? Number one is letter C. Okay, here we write number one. Where is number two? B. Okay, we three. Where is number three? Very good, G. Where is number four? Why not teach? Where is number five? Excellent, E. Where is number six? F. And the last one, number 7, the 3 men were put in prison. Listen again and check your answers. We move now to activity number 3. Listen and tick. Listen to the story, a little knowledge is dangerous again. This time pay attention to how the storyteller tells the story. As you listen, identify the storytelling techniques that the storyteller uses. The storyteller spoke at the same speed and from start to finish? Absolutely not. He used different voices. Yes. Does he or did he speak loudly or softly? Yes. He used different voices for different characters? Yes. Always pronounced words clearly? Always pronounced words clearly? Yes. Used his voice to express different emotions? Yes. When he was angry, when was reacted to the audience? No. Paused at dramatic moments in the story? Yes. Okay, we move to the next page, page number 9. Activity number 4. Discuss. Work in pairs, work in groups. Discuss the questions about the storytelling. Techniques from activity 3. In your opinion, what is the most important storytelling technique for communicating meanings? I think use different voices for different characters. To change your voice, to change your tone, your voice should be changed from one person to another. Which storytelling techniques do you think is the easiest to do? Which is the most challenging, and which is the most challenging? The easiest, I think, is spoke at the same speed from start to finish, without change, with no change. Okay, what is the most challenging technique? I think use his voice to express different emotions. I think so. Okay, which storytelling techniques are you good at? Which storytelling technique are you good at? It's up to you. Someone can say, spoke loudly and softly, use different voices for different characters. Okay, we move to exercise or activity number 4. Practice. Practice saying the extracts from the story, The Farmer Without a Brain, in different ways. Okay, for example, read the first line of the story quickly. The first line, you have to read it quickly. Many years ago, two farmers, Imran and Elif, something like this. And slowly, the next time. Many years ago, two farmers, Imran and Elif, were walking through a wood. I am reading slowly, in a loud voice. Many years ago, two farmers, Imran and Elif, were walking through a wood. In a quiet voice. Many years ago, two farmers, Imran and Elif, were walking. You have to do this. We move to number 2. Read this line from the story. Use a different voice from Imran and say it in a whisper. Whisper, what does it mean? In a quiet voice. Look, there are lions nearby. We should go. Whispered Imran. Whisper to say in a very low voice. Number 3. Read this line from the story. Use a different voice for Leif and try to sound annoyed. Leif said annoyed. No, we have got work to do. Scared is frightened. Leif is frightened here. No, we have got work to do. Impatient, with no patience. No, we have got work to do. Number 4. Read this line from the story. Angrily. Angrily. Well, I'm not going that way. I don't want to be a lion's dinner. With fear? Well, I'm not going that way. I don't want to be a lion's dinner. In a loud voice. Well, I'm not going that way. I don't want to be a lion's dinner. In a quiet voice. Well, I am not going that way. I don't want to be a lion's dinner. Okay. What is the use of this exercise? What is the benefit? Why we learn this exercise? We learn this exercise in order to, when we present our presentation in front of our class, we have to change our voices. We should pronounce words clearly. We should use our voice to express different emotions. And we have to pause at dramatic moments in the story. You should use these storytelling techniques while you are presenting your presentation, your work at your classroom, in front of your students, or in front of your colleagues, in front of your classmates. Okay? Now we come to the end of this lesson. See you later. Thank you for following me. Goodbye.